Okay, so we have the Ozark Trail D2 axis lock. Some people are referring to this as the dropout, to give it a name. They are $9.97 at Walmart. It is missing the pocket clip. I have harvested that for something better. Anyways, it flicks easy. It is on bearings. You can flip it in and out with the axis lock pretty well. Now, if you stop short of a full close, it does not easily get where you can close like that. So if you're here and you go to close it, it's not great for closing unless you fully close, which sometimes you get that extreme bounce back. So your timing has to be good to let off the axis lock. One other thing is, listen to this sound. That's it's not what a bug out sounds like at all for those that compare to the bug out. Though I do not have a bug out that compares directly to that, but you don't hear that sound. Hear it. Partial unlock. See how that just kind of, and I'm doing this left-handed, right-handed. That's kind of how a Benchmade operates, and so you don't get the satisfying closure with this, and you also get that grating noise. So when you deploy, you got a satisfying click. Kind of have it there. There's kind of how that one sounds. So there definitely is some audible differences in the sound of that. See how that bounce back when I hold the axis lock down just still closes it. This one, tangy, goes back to open. Yeah, sometimes. For another comparison, none of that grating sound. Also, partial closure. Likes to go back in its home. So I'm really not a fan of this thing. My first usage of this was to cut some plastic banding, and I do have some videos where I'm opening a couple other packages, and this is rolled over all the way up here, and I've had to sharpen this thing 3 times since last Saturday. 1 week, 3 sharpenings. Can't keep it to stay sharp. Now, also, look at the flex at the pivot. It's got some side to side. It's got some vertical. You can feel it. But the side to side, it's not great as far as tightness. Now this is cranked all the way down at the pivot. Absolute as tight as it could go. It doesn't get any better, obviously, if you loosen it. Neither does the sound. It just gets sloppier. Now this is a little bit thicker of a blade, but there's no blade flex. There's no pivot flex. There's no real front to back. And we'll go with the mini grip. That blade's pretty well straight when doing that. No side to side, no front to back. I mean, a bug out. This is not a $9.97 chunk of D2 with what I would say minimally passes for an axis lock. I guess it is. I've seen at least one on a channel that was a warped blade hanging, curved like a banana. Heard of more, but his test, one of the guys' tests was several hours of cutting cardboard, like 7. It does have a hollow grind on this. I don't know if I can get it to show here, but it is slightly hollow grind. It is pretty slicey while the edge stays keen, but when the edge goes away, it just tears. Not really overall a fan. However, if you need $10 worth of knife to throw in a tackle box, toolbox, in your glove box, yeah, you could do that. I mean, you could buy 16 of these things and put them everywhere for the cost of, a mini bug out or a bug out. Which, the mini, I would compare it, but it's quite a bit smaller. Here, I haven't checked this, but let's try it. Not really. Blade flex is probably close to the same stock thickness, but no side to side, no vertical, none of that grating sound. So, cost-wise, yeah, the Benchmade should be superior, and it most definitely is. Better steels, better heat treats, better quality control. Yeah, this is not a Benchmade. Definitely shouldn't really be compared to one. You could probably compare this to something like an Grow axis lock, which here's a Grow axis lock. I believe this to be on bearings. I haven't taken it apart to tell, but to me it appears to have bearings. You don't hear that grating sound. Definitely thicker blade stock, but also no flex, no side to side, no forward to back. Solid knife for $27. Also in D2 steel. Telling you, I would throw 2 of these, 3 of these in the trash and buy this every time. This is going to be a way better knife for just a few dollars more. Really, I mean, I think all the rage on this is that it's under $10 and probably one of the best things you can get for under $10 ish. I mean, I don't really know what's in the $10 range that really makes a knife. Maybe a Smith & Wesson or something. I just don't know what really is $10, and I think that's all why this is getting all the attention right now. Anyways, $10 is what you can afford. Yeah, put them places. This is not something I would recommend for daily pocket carry based on my usage. However, I am going to torture test this now that I've got a week of high volume cutting on it and shipping and receiving. The coating is holding up pretty well. I'm not a coating fan because it looks like that after a while. I'd much rather have a stone washed or satin blade. As you can see, this one's coated. This is a knife giveaway I won. This one's coated. They don't make crew wear non-coated at Benchmade that I've seen yet, so kind of got stuck with that. You can see coating wears in places. It's held up pretty good along the edge, really. But I prefer a blade that's naked. Well, there is the $10 Walmart Ozark Trail dropout. Stay tuned. I'm probably going to do bad things to this. We'll just do a bad thing to this right now. We're going to take my stick, see what happens. Knock it out of my hand. It's not a lot to really hold on to very well on this compared to a little larger knife. Keeps wanting to come out of my hand. Well, it'll hold up to the stick, and more bad things to this knife to come in the future. We're gonna torture test it and see what actually happens. This is one I really don't foresee just keeping in the collection unless I were to throw it in a tackle box or something. So if you're into this, $9.97 at Walmart. If you want to spend a little more cash, not much, about $26, $27 for an even grow, you're going to get much more knife, much more stable and sturdy knife than Ozark Trail. While we're at it, let's just see. Even Grill holds up. So far I like this thing a lot. Not so much. Y'all have a excellent National Knife Day.